Now from King of Bucks Television, it's Tales of the King. Amazing stories from hunters just like you. If you're interested in big deer, particularly big typical whitetails, you want to visit the Canadian province of Saskatchewan. A quick glance at Boone & Crockett's list of top 10 typicals tells the story. 4 of the 10 hail from Canada's breadbasket, the Wheat Province. For some of the most outstanding whitetail hunting in the world, trophy hunters from around the globe head to the prairies of Saskatchewan. But Bruce Ewen is not a trophy hunter. That's not to say he doesn't have some cool stuff laying around. Under the tarps in his many sheds are classic cars that would make many collectors drool.
He had a for sale sign on it, so I stopped and talked to him, and we bought it and we drove it home.
Inside, the soundtrack of the Ewen household definitely takes on some vintage tones.
Well, my wife got me a jukebox. We used to have an old cafe uptown, and we used to watch it when we were kids selecting records, and I thought it was so neat that I told her I wish I had one, and now you don't see them anymore. She managed to find me one and got me for my birthday.
But Ewen claims he doesn't really collect these treasures. They just come to him. And that's exactly what happened with Ewen's most fantastic find, the 8th largest whitetail in the world.
My uncle seen it, then my cousin seen it, and then Bruce seen it. Bruce ended up killing it. Yeah. I'm happy just as much as he is right now, so.
It was pretty secretive all summer. There had been people seen it in velvet and that, and they were hunting it with black powder and bows even, but they were hunters, so they weren't telling anybody about it. They were keeping it pretty secret. One guy had it in a scope, and he took the scope down to look. He couldn't believe how big it was, and then when he put it back up, it was too late. The deer was gone, but.
In 1992, just a few miles from his home in Archerville, Saskatchewan, Ewen encountered this monster. At 202 6/8, it's the 8th largest typical in the world. It held the provincial record for only 1 year. In 1993, Milo Hansen took his jaw-dropping 213 5/8" world record. That's Saskatchewan.
I guess we haven't had the real killing winters, so the horns are able to get bigger than that, and then more people are hunting for trophies now. Years ago, it was just meat hunters.
It's nice, it's beautiful here. All you have to do is just go out the back behind the door, off the doorstep, and you can go hunting. It doesn't matter if you go north, south, east, or west. It's good country back here, and you can't ask for a better spot than right here.
Any typical over 200 inches is an amazing accomplishment, and the Ewen buck is no exception. It has 17 total points, with the main beam soaring out over 28 inches on each side. With just 2 small non-typical points subtracting just 5 inches, it's just a fantastic typical from a province that has seen a lot of them. And when Ewen says the buck just came to him, he isn't kidding.
This was the second week of hunting season. I was doing chores feeding the cows, and a small buck had ran through the herd where the cows were, so they were heavy in rut. And he was pretty nice. He was like 150 or in that range. So I thought, well, I'm gonna go and see if I can get him. So I went around the bush to the other side to cut him off and that, and I didn't see him. And I turned around, I guess at the end, when I came back, just between here and the corrals, right in this area, in this willow area, this is where I seen him come out, and he crossed the road in front of me and went in here. He was so big, I thought, it must be a mule deer. At first I thought elk, but no, it's not an elk, but I thought it must be a mule deer, but we really don't have many mule deer up here. And then When I looked at him, I said, holy, that's a whitetail. Just up here is where I got the deer. I'll just pull over here and show you where he was standing, just across the creek here down a ways. I shot and I seen him stumble a bit, and then he ran. Yeah, you can see down the creek there's a high spot there. That's where he stopped, and that's where I shot the second time, and then he went down, and I went running over and I finished him off with a shot in the heart after. But then I started looking him over and counting the points and matching him up, and I thought, boy, he's going to score high, really high. I've seen big bucks in this area, but nothing that big. So much horns, massive horns on them that I just couldn't believe I'd been that lucky to get them. But when this whitetail was standing in front of me, I looked at him and I didn't have to guess. I knew he was up there because he was just so much horn mass there that I knew he was going to score high.
Bruce is pretty happy with 8th in the world. He is a solid hunter and he lives in some of the best whitetail country on earth. Though he managed to find himself in the right place at the right time, he also had the presence of mind to get the job done.
Congratulations, Bruce, on your buck.
Thank you. I hope you get a bigger one when you go hunting this year.
Well, they're out there.
That's
just
right.
Gotta find them to be the right spot, the right time, everything else.
They say good things happen to good people, and it's true. Now the entire world can enjoy this amazing trophy, an honored part of the King of Bucks collection.
I would say I had a little bit of buck fever.